Hello and welcome to another video on JavaScript ES6 features. In this video, we'll learn about classes, what are classes, what are constructor functions, what is inheritance, and what are modules and exports. So let's get started. When we create an object in JavaScript, let's say I create an object person. That object can have some properties like name, age, and it can also have a function, let's say walk, because a person can walk. Right now, it does nothing but console log something like this. Now, if we can create objects, why do we need classes? Yeah, what do we need classes for? Let's say we want to create, this is the information about a person, Rohit, but I want to create, I want to have information about some another person. So I will create another object, let's say person2. Now, person2 will also have the same properties like name, age, and walk, because just like person2 could also walk. If I wanted to create information about another person, I'll have to create another object, person3. That would also have same properties like name, age, and walk. So what is happening here? That this is creating redundancy or repetition. And let's say there was something wrong with our function. There was a bug in our function. So if we identify down the line that there was a bug in this function walk, we'll have to come back again to our code, rectify that mistake in this object, rectify that again, same mistake here and in the another object. So both these scenarios are not practical. What is the solution then? Solution is class. Now, when do we need classes? We need classes when we have an object with at least one method. Why do we need class? Because just like I mentioned, this object holds information of one person. This object will hold information about another person. Instead of doing like this, what we wanted a blueprint of this object, a blueprint that is something that would contain these very properties and methods, but could be used to store information of more than one person. That is what a class is. A class is a blueprint using which we can create objects of different kinds, different objects, but having same or similar properties and methods. I'll show you. Instead of creating one object for each person, what we can do is we can create a class. Creating a class is super easy in JavaScript. Instead of creating an object person, I created a class. This is the syntax to create a class. Write the keyword class and class name. Just like an object, class also has properties and methods. It can have property name, it can have property age, it can have method walk. But classes also have a special method or function whose name is reserved constructor. That means you cannot use constructor to create your custom functions. Constructor function is reserved and JavaScript knows what and how it is used. Now, inside constructor, what we are doing is this constructor, whenever it will be called, it will have an argument, name. What we are doing is we are saying that name property for this class would be equals to whatever argument is given to this constructor. Now, this is a class. But how can I store information about, let's say, me using this class? Properties or methods inside a class cannot be accessed directly outside. That means you need something to access those properties. You need an object which could access these properties of inside of a class. what we have to do is we create a variable p1 and equate it to new person. Now, what does this line mean? This line means that P1 is a new object, or you can say P1 is a new instance or a reference of class person. That means P1 now can communicate with each and every property or each and every object or each and every method inside the class. Right now, we have one property inside the class, name. But when we create object, at last, we put parentheses just like we do with functions. So this is the way of creating an object of a class. Object is what? Object you can say is an entry point to the class, because object can has the access to all the methods and properties of the class. Without object, you cannot instantiate, or you cannot print or use any property from inside the class. Okay, how we can use this object now? You can use like this, p1.name, or if you had a function inside the class, you could have used it like this, p1.functionName and parentheses. Now what I've written inside the class is a constructor function. Constructors are a special function that are automatically invoked, that are automatically called whenever an object is created of a class. When we created this P1 object, the constructor was automatically called. These parentheses are put after the class name so that we can pass on any arguments to that constructor function. Now what I'm doing is I'm passing my name as the argument to this person class. What it will do is this will pass on this argument here to this constructor, which will automatically be called when we created this object. What this constructor will do is this dot name, that means the name property of this person class will be equal to the name that was passed on, that is Rohit. Now, if we wanted to store information about another person, what we have to do is we have to create another object, new person. In this, we can put another person's name, let's say Govind. This is how classes are made, and this is how constructor functions works. Next, we'll take a look at inheritance. Next, we're going to look at inheritance. So let's create our person class again. Person class has a method called walk, which just console logs something. It also has the constructor function, and what it does is instantiates our name property with the value that it will be provided later. Now let's say I want to create another class like student. So class student. Now just like person, students can also walk because they are person. So but instead of writing this walk function here again, because that will create redundancy, what we can do is we can just say, hey, since students can also walk, just pass on or just inherit this property, this method from the person class inside student, instead of creating this walk function here again. For that, what we do is we write the keyword extends person. So class student extends person. Now what does this mean? This means that student class also has all the properties and methods defined inside person class, including the constructor. Let me show you. If we create an object of student class, now student on its own has no properties or methods, but we can still use the name property, or let's say the walk method from the student person class. if I write s1.walk and if I say s1.name is equals to this. If I just go to the console, just a second. Oh, we just forgot the new keyword. Now this is also a feature of ES6. In previous version, there was no error shown, but now it reminds us that if you are invoking a class or if you are creating an object of a class, use the keyword new. So back in our console, person can walk from this, and it is showing an error because I've written it wrong. Person can walk, and on line 13, I've instantiated the property name that was from person class with an object of student. And if I do it like this, console.log s1.name, it will give me that name. So inheritance, what inheritance has done in student class, if we haven't created any property or method, since we are extending person class, all the properties and methods from the person class are just inherited into the student class, and we can use it with the student object too. Now, but what happens like if I want to create a property that is only in the student class, that is not in the person class? Let's say a student also has a degree. And we are passing the name or the degree to the constructor of the student class. Let's say degree, in my degree I write PhD. When you pass arguments like this, they go to the constructor of the class, but the constructor that is being inherited in student class, that is this one from the parent class, can only have one argument. If we were to write like this, then we would have no problem. This would have simply gone to this constructor and the name property would have been initialized. We would have still got an answer in this. s1.name would have been Rohit. No problems there. But let's say we want to have another property, degree, because students can have degrees. You can have degree or you can have course, whatever. Now, the constructor that is being inherited in student can only have expects only one argument. That means you have to create constructor of student class also, which can have two properties, two arguments, that is. Now, whenever you create a constructor in the child class that is inheriting some other class, student here is a child class, person is a parent class. Whenever until we were using the derived or the inherited constructor, we were fine. But now the constructor expects two arguments, so we'll have to create a constructor in the child class. And when we create a constructor in the child class, the first thing we need to do is get a call to the parent constructor. The first thing you need to do in the child constructor, call the constructor of the parent class or call the parent constructor. We can do that by a function called super, by a function named super. What super does? Super calls the constructor from the parent class. Now, since name is the property of parent class or person class, what we can do is we can simply pass on this name, that is Rohit, to super, which will give it to this constructor, and the name property will be initialized. Degree is a property that is home to student only. So what we can do is inside student constructor, we can write like this dot degree is equal to the degree that is passed. Outside, we can do is console.log. We still have name. We also have degree. If we go into our browser and refresh, now this name was initialized by the parent constructor via super, and the degree was initialized by the child constructor. Let's recap. We had a class called person, which had walk method and name property. Name, this one. We had another class called student. Student also needed a walk method, needed a property name because students can walk and students can have names. But instead of creating those properties again in student, what we did, we extended the person class. That means all the properties and methods from here are also available here. Then we created a method, we created an object of student without passing any arguments here. When we call walk method, that is method from parent class with an object of student, we still got an answer because walk was also being inherited to student. When we instantiated the property name of parent class with an object of student, and then we console logged it, we got the answer because name was also being inherited to the student class. But when we wanted to pass two properties to the student class constructor, what was happening? The constructor was also being inherited from person to student, but that constructor was only expecting one argument. When we wanted to pass two arguments to the student class, we created a constructor of student's own, and we passed in two parameters here. But whenever we call a constructor in a child class, the first thing we need to do is call the constructor from the parent. We can do it by using function super. So we call the super function and pass the name argument to that so that it could be instantiated in the parent class. And degree, which was owned to student only, we instantiated in the child constructor only. Below, when we printed out name, it got printed. When we printed out degree, it also got printed. So this is inheritance in action. Next, we're going to study modules and exports.